Okay. I believe I am live on here, just making sure here that everything is working. That power outage kind of ruined a lot of things here. Messed up my mic. I believe I am live. Okay, yes, and everything's working. Okay, so it's Tuesday on the show. You know what that means. It's time for the Monday Night Raw review. Raw was actually a pretty decent show. There's a lot to get into, so let's get into it. Raw opened up with the new King of the Ring winner, Wwe Raw. He carried the King of the Ring crown in his left hand. The crowd loved him as usual, and then he said he told Jey Uso that Destiny was on his side, and Jey didn't believe him until he stepped into the ring with Femi. So now he knows. And Femi said that being the King of the Ring means that a choice has to be made. And then as soon as he said that, Brock Lesnar music hits. And Brock Lesnar walks into the ring, and this segment was entertaining. When Brock Lesnar could just be himself, he's like entertaining. I gotta fix this a little bit. So, and then yeah, and then Brock Lesnar. And then and then Lesnar said that Lesnar marked into the ring. He applauded Oba and smirked. And Lesnar said he was the King of the Ring a long time ago, and that was back in 2002. So, yeah, that was a pretty long time ago. And he said, and Lesnar admits that he doesn't watch the show. He has to rely on Mr. Heyman, who tells Lesnar that Femi has a big decision to make. Lesnar says he's learned that Femi has called Brock Lesnar a coward. Okay, well, this might be as good as I can get here. And then Lesnar said that Heyman said that Femi cuts a great promo, while Lesnar never could. That's why he had Heyman. Lesnar said what they say is talk crap, get hit. Lesnar kicked Femi in the groin and hit him with an F5, and he walked down the ring. Lesnar walked back, and then Lesnar walked to the back. Lesnar said that this is exactly what you always do because you show up, you F5, and you leave. Femi said that Lesnar is in front of him right now, and he's still a B. Femi said that they can play cat and rat forever, but they can settle the score one-on-one at SummerSlam. Lesnar said he accepts. Lesnar said that SummerSlam's in Minneapolis, and Lesnar said that he wants to have it in a Hell in a Cell, and Femi agreed. So a main event caliber opening, and this is going to be like the saga. And yeah, the Femi Lesnar rivalry has been outstanding, and now it's going to lead to a Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam. And so they could do one of two things here. They could have Oba Femi on night 2 have a championship match against Sami Zayn, destroy Sami Zayn, or they could have Brock Lesnar get the title from Sami Zayn, and then they got Brock and Oba for the WWE Championship. Main event caliber match. Either way, they kind of, yeah, they could do it. They got so many choices they can do. So, but yeah, and then the first match of the night was Rey Mysterio versus Ethan Page. This was an 11-minute match. It was a good competitive match with Rey Mysterio getting the win. I don't know why Rey Mysterio needs to win at this point, but yeah, he got the win. But we'll see where that story will go. Dominic and JD went in Danhausen's laboratory, and Dominic stole something from the wall that appeared to be a gift from the New York Nets. They laughed about it. LA Knight was shown getting ready. And then Joe Henry and the Street Profits did a segment. Henry sang a song about how we have new tag team champions, and he wanted everybody to make noise for the celebration with the boys. Henry talked about how others in the Vision won't be there, and he trashed Austin Theory for being destroyed by John Cena on the mic. And then it was Joe Henry versus Austin Theory, with Joe Henry getting a ring at 7 minutes. And might I point out too, before this segment started, there was a backstage segment where Paul Heyman was backstage with Pierce, saying how this is going to be a money caliber match, and then Austin Theory approached Paul Heyman to come out with him for his match. Theory said that Heyman wasn't answering his calls. Heyman said, now you know he's there, and he left. So, yeah. And Adam Pearce approached Oba to ask if he was sure he wanted the Hell in the Cell at SummerSlam. Femi said that the title opportunity will be there, but he needs this to end now. So yeah, so Joe Henry versus Austin Theory was a 7-minute match. It was an alright match with Joe Henry getting the win. And then Raquel Rodriguez was backstage to talk about an opportunity. Pierce said that Raquel isn't the only one looking for an opportunity, and Pierce put her in a match with Maxine Dupree. Pierce left. Liv Morgan and Roxanne walked up to Raquel to complain about things. Raquel told Liv not to worry because Raquel has her back. Liv thanked her, and yeah, Roxanne is totally turning on her. You can just see it. Oh. Yeah, you can just see it. Gotta work on this a little bit to make it not like that. And then Io Sky was in the ring. She celebrated with the Queen of the Ring. She's a total babyface with the crowd, like the fan favorite. Loved it. Yeah. And then Liv Morgan made her entrance, saying that the only reason why she lost because she got cursed by stupid Danhausen. And Liv said at SummerSlam things would have been different because she didn't respect Sky. Liv claimed Sky pissed her off, reminded her about Finn Balor getting turned on by her group, and mentioned Stephanie Vaquer. Liv said she took everything from Rhea Ripley and she hasn't been the same since. Raquel and Roxanne were on the apron, so Sky knocked them out. But then the numbers game took advantage, and Liv applied the half crab submission, so Io tapped out. They finally sent some WWE officials and referees to the ring to stop it. Yeah, so Sky will probably keep selling that left knee injury over the next month. And then now Division, the LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso with Jay on commentating, and yeah, some fans booed Knight because Knight pulled Jimmy into the ring, and Knight pulled Jimmy to knock him down. Some fans booed Knight for that. Back in the ring, Knight hit a reverse DDT. So yeah, so I don't know if they're planning on turning LA Knight heel. But after the match, Jimmy Uso won this match, which they keep furthering LA Knight down the card. But Knight attacked Jimmy, so Jay went after Knight with punches. Solo Sikoa appeared from under the ring. He had a Samoan spike on Jimmy. Jay chased Solo away. Knight was back up and hit a BFT on Jay to put him down. And Solo and LA Knight were on the same page after Knight, so yeah, so I guess maybe they're planning on turning LA Knight heel. I mean, he could be the anti-hero. He could be like the Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, you know, like getting mad at the higher ups for not giving him a shot and everything else. They could do it, but I doubt they will. So a clip was shown from Night of Champions post show where Gunther argued with SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. Gunther said that Aldis was jealous of Gunther because Aldis is a failed wrestler. They shoved each other. Then they got separated by WWE officials. Michael Cole said that Nick Aldis is on administrative leave. So Adam Pearce would run both Raw and SmackDown. So this could lead to Gunther versus Aldis at SummerSlam, which could further Gunther's character. And then Chad Gable was getting ready for his match. A Prince approached him and showed respect. And then the Usos approached Jacob Fatu backstage, and they wondered where Fatu was. The Usos wondered where Fatu was. Fatu reminded him that he takes orders from the tribal chief and not them. Ooh, so that could cause division. And then a video aired about Lyra Valkyria talk about her heel turn. This was a really good segment. I enjoyed this one. Lyra said it takes two to lose a tag team title match. Lyra says she let the anger get the better of her one time, yet everybody forgets she's been the bigger person for a whole year. Lyra said that she bit her tongue and carried the load because she wanted to bring Bayley to the top with her. Lyra said that everyone knows she can do it by herself since she's the first women's IC champion, and Lyra claimed she never wanted to hurt Bayley, but last week it felt good to close that gap just a bit. And remember when Bayley kept turning on Lyra? Bayley didn't want to work with Lyra, and then they did that whole split personality. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go. And Maxine was shown backstage where she saw Chad Gable getting ready. Dupree said she meant every word she said last week and said something about how she delivered it. Gable said he don't owe him an apology, and he wished her good luck in her match tonight. And then Maxine and Raquel, they faced in a 4-minute match. Raquel won, so Maxine, yeah. The fans were quiet for this match because Maxine has been featured much of late. And then Danhausen went into the lab to realize that somebody ruined his lab and stole his next gift. Liv Morgan went into the ring to warn Danhausen to make this right, or the Judgment Day would continue to make his life hell. Danhausen said okay to end it. And then Chad Gable versus JD Mandana with Dominic Mysterio. Chad Gable won because he was Dominic was on the apron, Gable was on the top. And then Danhausen appeared at ringside with the briefcase. Dominic chased Danhausen to the back. JD was distracted by that, so Gable went for a suplex, but JD counted it into a 2 count. Gable applied the ankle lock with a heel hook, and JD tapped out to give Gable the win. And then after the match, Dominic and JD found the briefcase that was full of money. Dominic opened it, and something sprayed into their faces. Danhausen reappeared at ringside and grabbed the Danhausen next jersey off Dominic's back when Danhausen went back. Raquel hit him with a forearm and gave Dominic the next jersey back. And then Maxine was icing her head while Austin Theory approached her to ask about what she said to Chad Gable. Dupree said it's complicated. Theory said if you want to go back down that route, then maybe this isn't working out. And then Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins had a legendary confrontation. Seth Rollins cut a good promo. I forgot he could actually cut good promos. He said that that Roman Reigns was dominant for 4 years. But there's one thing that he's never done, and that is to beat Seth Rollins. Now, I would like to see this in a I Quit match, where if Roman does beat Seth Rollins, he retires. If that's what they're going for. But yeah, this is iconic back and forth. Like Seth mentioned, their time as the Shield, how they debuted together. They took out the old generation, and then their generation came in, and now this is the only time they can do it. This is the last opportunity because the new generation's starting to come in. So it was a really good promo. I would suggest watching this segment because this was a legendary segment, and I enjoyed it very much. Seth absolutely crushed it with that promo. Rollins made so many good points to try to get under Roman's skin and saying that things will motivate Rollins to want to accept the challenge that Rollins was making, and it worked perfectly, and they used logic to set it up. So that was Monday Night Raw. It was a solid show, I thought. A lot of good segments, a lot of good promoting of SummerSlam. So they seem to do a good job at the big 4 pay-per-views. So I'm interested to see where Lyra is gonna go, and what else. Hopefully, the Seth and Roman's actually turns out pretty good because Roman and Punk had that good segment there for 1 week, and then it just kind of went downhill. But hopefully it turns out good. And that was your Raw reports, and a decent show. I liked it. A lot of good segments, and we'll see where this all goes. And then I'll see you in the next video.